Hello and welcome back to the Elite Takeover Podcast, where today we will be going over the 4th of November edition of AEW Dynamite, the final build to Full Gear this weekend on Saturday. Of course, I am your host Aidan, joined as always by
Raph.
And of course, we will go through the plugs as per usual at the beginning of these episodes. We can be found on all major podcast homes. Give us a subscribe, a download, a review, all these weird, wonderful things you do on YouTube, the Elite Takeover. Same things there. Subscribe, like, really helps the growth of the podcast and lets us to keep do this. Also on Twitter, Elite Takeover YT, and on Instagram at the Elite Takeover. But let's get on with AEW tonight. So, what we're going to do, because this was quite an uneventful show, this really wasn't, nothing special happened. This was pretty much a standard edition of Dynamite that didn't feel like we had a pay-per-view coming up in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go through our predictions for Full Gear. When we're going through our predictions, we'll kind of talk about the segments on the show that kind of help build towards these matches.
Yeah.
Because nothing else really interesting happened. The only like big thing, we'll talk about this now because it makes me excited to talk about Pac.
Yes.
Pac's little video promo that he had. Really awesome. Really excited to see Pac coming back. We'll have to see how this works out, obviously, because in the UK we have now gone back into another lockdown.
Today, first day of second lockdown.
So we don't know. So again, he could be having more time in isolation.
Yeah.
But they should just keep doing these little promos for him. It'd be great if they did.
It worked really well.
Yeah.
The way it was.
I love Pac. I'm so excited to see Pac back when eventually he can come back. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're going to go in the Pac versus Eddie Kingston direction, is what it sounded like, because Eddie was in the promo quite a bit.
Yeah.
They had him in the background because obviously when Pac left, they kind of started off Death Triangle with him and the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
So in the promo, they kind of had Eddie Kingston's references to that. So potentially we're going to get into a bit of a custody battle.
That'd be cool.
Over the Lucha Brothers. I don't care. I just want to see Pac back.
Yeah.
I just want to see Pac back. Honestly, I just want to see
Pac.
Pac. Let's do Pac and Moxley again. Give Pac. I know.
Just give me Pac.
Well, it's not going to happen, but just give me Pac. Give Pac the title. Just do it. Just do it. I love Pac. But anyway, so we'll start off with the pre-show match, which was announced for the buy-in, which is Serena Deeb taking on Allysin Kay, which is for the NWA World Women's Championship. So obviously, we don't watch NWA, so we don't know Allysin Kay. We've never seen her, so she wrestles in NWA essentially. Apparently, she's very good, but Serena Deeb's going to retain. She's contracted to AEW. And she only just won the title from Thunder Rosa a week ago.
Yeah,
Serena Deeb's going to retain.
Yeah,
I'm glad we agree on that one.
Yeah.
That was kind of the. That's kind of the. It's going to be a really good match on the pre-show.
Yeah,
it's good to get another women's match, and it's hilarious that it kind of feels like it feels a bit on the same level, if not like a bigger match than Shida versus Rose. Ugh.
Yeah,
but yeah. So the original match that was supposed to be on the buy-in, which has now been moved up to the main card, Orange Cassidy versus John Silva. So tonight on Dynamite, we had Cassidy and Silva kind of go back and forth a little bit. We had the match between Miro and Trent. Pretty fine match, nothing special. On a slight side note, before we get on to Cassidy and Silva, what are you thinking about Miro?
He's okay. I'm a bit biased. I don't know why. It's just annoying me that he's just like fighting. He fought Trent just because of an arcade.
Yeah.
That feud just doesn't make sense, especially because it wasn't Trent's fault. Like, Trent was thrown onto the arcade, so it's not like it wasn't his fault in the first place. So I'm a bit confused as to what they want to do with him.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure yet what to think about him.
I've kind of gone off Miro.
Yeah.
He had like that promo when he first arrived was amazing. So cool.
I was very excited for him, but now I'm a bit excited. Like, eh.
But now I'm completely like, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm a bit like, meh.
I prefer Kip Sabian. I like Kip. I want them to use Kip more.
Yeah.
I really like Kip. And that's not just an English bias. I just think Kip's very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, out of all the people involved in that feud, Miro's the one I'm least excited about now. Which is the shame. It really is a shame, but he doesn't... like he's doing different stuff to this WWE stuff, which is good, and he does feel different, but I don't know. He feels a tad out of place for me.
Yes.
I don't think he fits as well as
I don't know
he
if he's
necessarily
still
would do.
I don't know if he's still finding his place in there or whatever.
It also is the gimmick doesn't really work.
Yeah.
The best man thing. It was a nice way to bring him in, but I don't think it really works in the long term. And also, I don't get why he's doing promos. He doesn't need. He shouldn't be doing promos. Yeah. Well, he was doing he wasn't doing proper promos, but he was doing a little promo before the match and during the match.
Yes.
And I just don't think he's. And it's not to do with his accent or anything. I just don't think he's a very good talker.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I will give him that he can be good at catchphrasey things, he didn't like the Rusev Day stuff, which got him over. But he's not good at just a general promo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't enjoy listening to him doing promos. I like Kip doing promos. Kip's a good promo.
Yes, he's a really good one.
And that would be part of the reason why Kip's with him, surely.
Yeah.
But hey ho, whatever. Anyway, back to Cassidy and Silva. So during this match, the Dark Order came out and Silva knocked Cassidy out. And then later in the night, in the main event, when Silva, Colt, and Ten were taking on Cody and the Gun Club, post at the end of the match, John Silva trying to attack Cody and the Gun Club, and Orange Cassidy came in and saved him. So yeah, I very much think this is going to be a Cassidy win.
Yes. There's no way. I
like John Silva. I think he's very entertaining.
Yeah, he's really entertaining.
Really grown as a person. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like this is...
Cassidy's a big deal.
Yeah, and Cassidy's come off a lot of losses.
Yes.
He lost to Cody a lot recently.
Yeah.
He needs to win this match. And John Silva, and that'd be a big upset if John Silva won. Mm-hmm. But I think post-match, we're kind of probably going to see either... So I think we have two options for what's going to... I think there's a reason this has been put onto the actual show. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see either Brody Lee's going to come back.
Yeah.
And either kill Cassidy or he's going to kill Silva.
Yeah.
Because he's upset.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we have to see Brody come back, or we're going to just see the continuation of the Miro storyline after this match. Yeah. I think one of those two things has to happen after this. Mm-hmm. I feel like otherwise this is kind of not really a pay-per-view match. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to see it, but it's not on the same level as everything else on the card.
Yeah.
So we also have Matt Hardy and Sami Guevara in the Elite Deletion match. Oh, sorry, you agreed with Cassidy, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, of course.
Of course. It's Cassidy.
Yeah. Essentially, Matt Hardy and Sami Guevara did exactly the same thing that Cassidy and John Silva did tonight. They traded beat-ups.
Yeah, they have.
Sami was very strange in Dynamite tonight, because we had that opening tag team match with Wardlow and MJF taking on Ortiz and Sami.
Which I was quite excited about.
I was excited by the idea of it.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. It felt like they were wrestling through glue. It was really odd. And it was really weird to see, Sami playing babyface in the match.
Yes.
It didn't work for me.
It works for me with, I always forget his name. From the street, from Proud and Powerful.
Ortiz?
Yes, Ortiz. I can see him playing, the babyface. Yeah. But not Sami.
Well, I can see Sami being a babyface, but it didn't work in this match at all for me. In terms of he's in the middle of this blood feud with Matt Hardy.
Yes.
And he's literally trying to kill the man. But now he's a babyface in this match with them. They could have done this match differently to make it more actually a heel versus heel match. I know it's not the best thing in the world, but you could have.
It's fine.
Yeah, there was enough brutality and enough because last week they were talking about they wanted to make sure MJF didn't even make it to Full Gear.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this week they just had a very standard wrestling match. Mm-hmm. But yeah, during that match, Matt Hardy throws a chair at Sami Guevara's face. Mm-hmm. No DQ for some reason. Don't know why. Very strange, that one.
A-dubs rules.
Yeah, and then later in the night, Sami came out and took out Matt Hardy. A bit lazy to do the same thing with different people on this show. I didn't even realise it until we just spoke about it. But it's lazy. I will call you out on that, AEW. That was lazy. But yeah, but this should be a fun match since they're going to be in the Elite Deletion. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Matt Hardy will be able to do something that's really creative and bring it back to kind of the good stuff they used to do.
Yeah.
The old Deletion matches. Hopefully this will be a lot of fun. And Matt Hardy's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Hardy
going
has
to
to
say
win.
that.
There's no way Sami wins this.
Yeah. Especially since Sami the last time gave Matt Hardy a concussion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no. I kind of see this being... I see this tied in with the Jericho and MJF thing. So because I see Sami losing here, I essentially see MJF slotting into his place in the inner circle. So that you don't have 7 people. Because like 7 people altogether is far too much. But if you've got rid of Sami for like a brief bit of time, then 6 people you can kind of get away with. Because like MJF and Jericho kind of be on the same level really, and then you have Wardlow as the other lower guy. You can work briefly. But like I feel like having Sami down 7 people is just a bit too much for cluster.
And then Sami can come back a while later and be like, what the hell is he doing with my place?
Yeah. Well, I think, like, because MJF's probably going to slowly start to take over the inner circle and slowly start to oust Jericho is what I would imagine is going to happen. And then Sami can return and help Jericho and help the other members of the inner circle realise what MJF's doing, essentially, because he hasn't been there under his spell or whatever. Whatever nonsense they're going to do. Not spell, obviously. Not a literal spell. But Hardy's going to win this.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah. So we'll talk... Since we essentially just gave at least I gave my prediction for this one. Jericho, MJF. MJF's going to win. He has to win this. He has to win.
I would like Jericho to win, but I would also like MJF to win. Like, I love both of them.
Well, what is your prediction, though?
I don't know. I think MJF will win.
No.
I think so. Just because, like, there was so much build for this, him joining the inner circle, for it not to go anywhere.
My thing in this is, why do the stipulation if you're not going to go anywhere with it?
Exactly.
Otherwise, this, like, past like, couple of months technically has been worthless if we're not going to get to that point. And it feels like, and clearly Chris Jericho is having the time of his life working with MJF.
Yes.
So this ain't going to stop anytime soon. This is going to be similar to like the Kevin Owens stuff in WWE. It's not going to it's not going to go away anytime soon. They're going to have another match at Revolution or Double or Nothing or whatever. I feel, MJF's going to be in the inner circle. He has to. Otherwise, what's the point? And he needs to win. He just lost to Moxley.
Yeah,
he needs this win. Jericho can put him over. I know that's another loss for Jericho, but
Jericho's in a good place anyway.
It's Chris Jericho. He's always going to be fine. He's always going to be fine.
Yeah.
We have Hikaru Shida taking on Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's World Championship. So on tonight's episode, we saw Nyla Rose taking on Red Velvet, who apparently is now friends with Brandy Rhodes, apparently.
Yeah.
Apologies if you could hear that. Someone's doing the lawn outside, it sounds like.
It's a bike.
Oh, is it a bike? Okay, never mind. Well, if you could hear that, I apologise. Took on, so Red Velvet now a friend with Brandy Rhodes. I guess that's happened on Dark. I guess Brandy Rose needed a new friend to replace Ali.
Yeah. Since
Ali's turned heel on her. And Brandy doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
Maybe she cares on Dark, but on Dynamite she hasn't cared. Nyla very obviously kills her and then threatens Shida post-match.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What do you think?
I just really want Nyla to win. But to be fair, she was already a champion. But they were kind of like mentioning, like last night and on AEW, they were kind of like mentioning how Nyla would become a 2-time women's champion, which they kind of like not make a big deal out of it, but they kind of mentioned it. So I would like her to win. I would really like her to win, and I know that won't happen, so I think I'm going to go for Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, for Shida.
I think so. I'm not sure. I really don't know, because this didn't build anywhere.
This is a toss-up.
It didn't build from anywhere.
Yeah, there's no build here. There's no build at all.
That's why I have no idea where it's going to go.
Yeah, they could literally do either of these and they wouldn't really make any difference, because if you look at things, like, who is Hikaru Shida's next contender?
I don't know.
Who's Nyla Rose's next contender? There's, like, sure, with Shida, there's more potential with, like, Britt.
Yeah.
But they've kind of seemed to have called on that because Britt's kind of disappeared a little bit. I don't know what's happened there. They seem like they were building to Shida versus Baker.
Yeah.
But no, Baker's just gone. I have no idea. Like, unless you have Shida win. Like, the only thing I want to happen is I would want Shida to lose the title to Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
I would want Thunder Rosa to come back.
I want Thunder Rosa to come back.
Shida to lose the title to her. That's kind of the only thing that would interest me at the moment with the women's division. I'm not saying there's not good women there, but
the division itself is not great right now.
But because there's only one match a week on Dynamite and it's only 2 minutes long, and it's always with different competitors every single week.
Yeah.
It's very
There hasn't
odd.
been any like promo packs or anything like that about the women's.
It's nothing.
Like nothing.
They really need to get their act together with that. It's been this is the worst. Like
it's been too long.
This past few months have kind of been, minus the Thunder Rosa stuff.
Yeah.
Has been the worst chunk of time. Yeah. So since Thunder Rosa's kind of not been there, since they had that tag team match against Diamante and Evil,
which was really good.
Like since then, it's kind of just been dead. It's been absolutely dead in the water, and they need to fix this. It's bad.
And they just put a women's match in the middle of the show just because they need to have the women's.
It's always in the
cool down, isn't it?
Yes, to cool down the crowd. It's in the place before the main event. You cool down the crowd, and you go away, and you go, okay, cool. It's just the women's match. I can go away, get a drink, and I'll be back in time to go and see John Moxley in the main event. And it's like, okay, cool. That's not how it should be. That's the kind of rubbish that like people got annoyed with WWE for doing, is using women as the cool down matches and the toilet break matches. And AEW does that weekly on Dynamite. It's not okay. They need to fix it. It's dreadful. I'm going to go with Shida as well because I don't see. I don't.
It would be impressive to like Thunder Rosa win against Nyla. Like it would be.
Yeah, but if they okay, so I just don't think they have any plans for Nyla Rose because she hasn't been on TV for ages.
Yeah.
I know Shida just sits in the audience and so does Nyla. They haven't got any plans for either of them. I think they'll stick with
exactly.
Shida. And it'll be a good match. Their last match was really good when when Shida won. Maybe you could have given this a stipulation or something, made it a bit more fun. Because like it was quite brawly last time.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the better stuff on the card.
So you bet on
Shida.
Yeah,
Shida. So we have the TNT title match. We have Cody. So you didn't see this because you went off downstairs. But Cody made a big announcement post-show, which was in the news as well, because WWE have finally given up on their trademark for Cody Rhodes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Finally.
They finally give up on it. So post-show... on the fight thing, it wasn't on for American viewers or anything. It was just on the fight thing and for the local crowds. He did a promo where he said that finally he has his name back.
Yeah,
and it means so much to him. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to him what Justin Roberts announced him as or what he's going to be billed as. But for him to finally have back his name, his dad's name,
exactly,
means so much to him. They can finally be Cody Rhodes again if he wants to be. So we'll see whether maybe he'll be announced as Cody Rhodes on Saturday. But Cody versus Darby Allin for the AEW TNT Championship.
I really want Darby to win. I really, really, really... And then again, that's going to be my prediction, but I know it's not right. But it's just because I love Darby. And it's just really annoying me that Cody's like the babyface, but he's very like mean on matches. Like he tries to be the babyface, but then he's not. And I understand that's like how he's building up to.
But he's kind of transitioned away from that a bit recently.
He keeps being big, like cocky about the matches and stuff. Yes, he is cocky. And it just really upsets me. So I just really want Darby Allin. Because then you could do Darby Allin with Cassidy and stuff like that. Cassidy could come again after the title instead of having to repeat matches with Cody. But even though he's already fought Darby, didn't he?
Yeah. He's fought him most times.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think Cody will retain, but I still
What is your prediction? What is your lock-in prediction? Cody or Darby? Darby.
Even though I'm going to lose that, but I want Darby to win.
So I think it's Darby as well.
Yeah.
I think we're only actually going to differ on one match on this entire card, to be honest.
I'm surprised you chose Darby. I thought you were going to go for
No,
Cody.
I think Darby wins. Because I think it kills Darby to lose this match.
Yeah. He's been built up so much lately.
Yeah. And like AEW doesn't do DQ finishes. They don't kind of do nonsense. So I don't expect, because like, so we had a promo from Team Taz
Yeah.
on Dynamite as well, where they kind of said they're going to be there on Saturday somewhere. So probably here, you'd have to imagine, is where they're going to turn up.
Yeah.
But I would be much more interested. I don't care for Brian Cage personally, but I'd be far more interested in Darby winning this, Cody transitioning into a feud with Cage.
Yeah.
And just moving Cody away from this.
Darby against.
And then Darby can do stuff with Starks. He can do stuff with...
exactly.
So he can do stuff with loads of people. It would be really interesting.
Because that's the thing, like, you can see Darby Allin just go anywhere with that title.
Yeah. He could have a lot of fun with that title.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it would be kind of like the hype we had for Moxley when he won the title.
Yeah.
I think that kind of hype we would get with Darby.
And I think it's time to pull the trigger on him, because he's one of the guys that they've been building up a lot as a purebred AEW kind of guy. I know obviously he worked other places beforehand, but this is his first big major thing, and they should put the rocket to him at this point and give him the win over Cody, because he drew with Cody. He drew with Cody once, and then he's lost to Cody twice. He needs to get this win, otherwise it's either he gets this win or he kind of has to turn heel.
Yeah.
And I think he gets the win. Let's talk about the finals of the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament. What a mouthful. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega.
It's really hard. But I love both of them. I think Kenny's going to win.
So my thing
But I really want Adam Page to win.
Yeah, I think...
Just because he's like my millennial boy.
Yeah. The more I watch this, the more I've watched it, the more like... It's annoying. They've done a very good job of trying to make this more unpredictable than it is.
Yes.
By the fact that they've just had Kenny Omega doing promos where he's gone, well, I win tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm going to win. It's obvious I'm going to win. And he's been doing that for weeks. Which is the thing that puts the question.
Having Hangman being like, of course I'm nervous for the match, like Hangman admitting that he's like, I am nervous for it, and like everyone gets nervous for it. So like he's clearly playing the baby face kind of thing. Yeah. I would love him to win, but
so on the build tonight we kind
hard.
of had both of them cutting promos with Tony and JR. Kenny just saying he's going to win, basically. He was very confident about the fact that he's going to win this. Hangman, like Raph said, being he started off very confident, but then once JR kind of asked a few more questions, he kind of admitted that actually he is scared and he's nervous about it, because it's the first time he's getting close to the championship again since All Out last year. Since the first time the inaugural match to determine the champion. And it's a big deal to him. He's such a good actor. Adam Page is a great actor. He's superb. His acting is great. We did have a weird bit where they both kind of came out to save the Young Bucks. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen because it didn't really make sense with what they've been doing character-wise, to be honest. Yeah,
the only thing that I thought that was because like Adam obviously has a big thing against FTR because they betrayed him. So it didn't go in technically to save the Young Bucks, but more to like piss off FTR.
Yeah, but it didn't make sense because there was no conflict between the Bucks and Hangman and Kenny. Exactly. Like, and sure, I know you can be like BTE, but even on because I've been watching BTE recently, and even on BTE, like, it's such this storyline is so convoluted now. It's kind of lost a lot of the heart to it. Like, it's obviously the Bucks kind of turned heel. Yeah. Like they were. I know obviously it's supposed to be. In terms of their perspective, it's supposed to be they got upset and they've got emotional after everything that's happened, and it's all been too much for them, and they've kind of had a little breakdown essentially. Yeah. But like on BTE, like both Hangman and the Bucks both wanted to kind of be friends again from like separate places. Mm-hmm. But the Bucks sent a text to Hangman's phone, being like, "Hey, do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about this all?" But Hangman, because he was drunk, he put his phone inside of a pumpkin. Yeah, he did. He was on the back of a truck with Brandon Cutler, and they were throwing pumpkins. Mm-hmm. And then Hangman was drunk, and he was just like, "Hey, Mr. Pumpkin, you look after my phone," essentially. And then the Young Bucks get a text back, essentially being like, no, I don't want to go anywhere near you, you must stay away from me, forever I hate you, with more swear words than this. Mm-hmm. But obviously not from Hangman, because Hangman didn't have his phone.
Yes, exactly.
So clearly from Kenny.
Yeah.
Was the person who sent it. And like, even if you're trying to tell that story they're telling on BTE, which they're not talking about at all on Dynamite, because they don't iterate.
I wish they did.
It's frustrating because they do try and build storylines on BTE, but then there's no mentioning of anything on, like, it's a pain. It's a pain when they do that. There's no mentions of anything. And it's like, it doesn't make sense why then Hangman's saving the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks wouldn't just be upset about the fact that Hangman came out, and obviously Kenny completely ditched them as well.
Yeah.
Why aren't they upset? Like, sure, they were concentrating on FTR. That was, I guess that's the excuse.
I think it was like showing like the two matches that we're going to have a full
Well, yeah, obviously, I understand from a visual perspective, it's
yeah.
just to show off his matches, but it didn't make sense.
No.
It didn't make sense. But I'm going to predict Kenny. I think Kenny...
Yeah.
Just because Kenny and Moxley makes so much more sense.
Yes.
And I want Kenny to...
And I could see Kenny winning against Mox.
And I think, Kenny... I think Kenny has to win. I think we have to go down this predictable path.
And then we can go back into Hangman and Kenny Omega.
And then we get into we get Kenny being Moxley. We get into the full proper clean. It's like we've started the turn and we've started the change of character, but we haven't got there properly. Like Kenny, he's going to get there eventually. I don't know when it will be.
Yeah.
But Kenny has to go full on manic cleaner. Full on. And then he be champion and be awesome, holds it for ages, and then lose to Hangman.
Yeah.
And like have Hangman lose to Kenny again at some point, and then like Hangman eventually come back up, manage to get past his anxious millennial cowboy stuff. And yeah, I think Kenny has to win. Kenny has to win. There's no other way around this. And then the tag team match, obviously we kind of just discussed what's going on with there. The big storyline detail going into this is the damaged foot/knee of Matt Jackson. And if the Young Bucks do lose this match, they will never challenge for the AEW World Tag Team Championships again. And also on a side note, apparently, on a social exclusive from Dynamite last night, is that Tully Blanchard has been banned from ringside for this match.
Good.
So what do you think?
This one's hard again, because I love the Young Bucks, and I don't want them to, like, never challenge for the AEW Tag Team title again.
Yeah.
But then again, that stipulation makes me think that it could be the same thing that happened with...
Yeah, you look at Cody.
Yeah, exactly, with Cody. And I think that's what might happen. So I'm going to bet on FTR, even though I really want the Young Bucks to win.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go Bucks.
I really want the Bucks to win, but I don't know. Because it's the same thing with the MJF Chris Jericho thing. Like... It's hard for... Right, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Because I love... no, FTRs are going to win. FTRs are going to win for sure. Just because it's going to be the same thing with Cody that happened with Cody, that he's not allowed to go for the titles again, but then they're going to find a way around it. I don't know.
Is that your way of... Is this there you're locking?
Yes,
you're locking
FTR.
on FTR?
I think so, yeah.
So...
I think so.
I think this is really hard to predict.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to predict.
I just want the Young Bucks to win because I love them. Like, comparing the Young Bucks to FTR to me, it's like the Young Bucks have more my style of wrestling rather than FTR.
Yeah. And also this is a dream match that's been years in the making. They've been teasing this match since like 2018, 2017. It's been a long time. Like, they both put out tweets being like, we will wrestle the Young Bucks, we will wrestle left, we will wrestle the Revival.
Yeah.
And we will look back at this and smile or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the tweets are now, it's been a long time. But you locked in on FTR, didn't you? Was you locked in on the Bucks? I think it's really hard.
Is this the match that you thought we were going to
Yes,
disagree?
I thought you were going to say Bucks, and I was going to say FTR.
No.
But you're going to say Bucks. You want to say FTR. Oh...
I really don't know.
Okay. I'm going to say Bucks then, just for the pure competition aspect of this. Because I think it's really tight, this one.
Yeah.
My head says FTR, but my heart kind of thinks the Young Bucks will probably win.
Exactly.
But my head says FTR because I feel like what's going to happen. I feel like what's going to happen is, especially now they banned Tully Blanchard from ringside, I think that is the way. That is the way through this. I think that is the thing. The Young Bucks are going to lose due to distraction interference. Tully Blanchard's going to get involved even though he's not supposed to be out there. He's contracted not to be at ringside. He's going to get involved, do something. Or like Sean Spears. I know Sean Spears hasn't been involved with this at all, but he is technically under Tully Blanchard's little...
Yeah.
He's with him technically. Not that Sean Spears really exists anymore. But
it could happen that Tully called Spears to come out and...
Yeah. I think Tully has to get involved, and that's going to be the thing that breaks the contract. But the thing is, it's not the same as Cody, because if the Young Bucks lose and they can never challenge for a title again, and they stick to it like Cody has,
they can't do it.
They can't do anything.
Anything, yeah.
Sure, they can introduce trios titles eventually, but that's not the same.
No,
it's not the same. If you don't have the Bucks are your biggest tag, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. That's why I want the Young Bucks to win, because I don't want them not to challenge. But
I also feel like it's too soon for the FTR to lose the titles to the Young Bucks.
That's the same thing I thought.
It's really... I'll stick with the Young Bucks because that's the only place we're going to differ. Because the main event we're both going to say Moxley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingston isn't going to win that match. As amazing as Kingston has been, and how good this match is probably going to be, the I Quit match.
Yeah.
There's no chance Kingston's getting that title.
No.
Not right now.
Not in the near future. I could see him getting the TNT title.
Yes. That'd be a fun feud. Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston would be
exactly. Fun. I could see it happening.
Yeah.
But not really the championship. I think this was just a fortunate...
Yeah, it's worked out very well for them.
Accident.
Because it's all this has all come from accidents. Because
it was an accident. Eddie, him not getting...
Yeah, Eddie was supposed to be eliminated. That was an accident. Exactly. They messed up. Lance Archer got COVID, which meant that then they had to give Eddie Kingston the championship match, which then became the storyline that he didn't quit, which is then what's given them this match.
Exactly. So it all came from accidents. So it's... Yeah. They're not going to let this be the accident that gives him the world championship. I think if he wins the championship, either the world or the TNT, it's going to be for fair.
I could see Eddie being a transitional world champion in the future.
Yeah.
I could see 100%. It because I think he's earned
a really good talker.
He's earned it with how well he's done in this. Mm-hmm. He's come in and he's really taken the ball and he has run with it.
And he's
with everything
so good
he's done. He's really great. He's really great, and I think it's going to be a really good match. But Mox is going to win. Yeah. Mox is going to win. No matter all the interference from the Lucha Brothers, all the interference from Butcher and Blade, Moxley's still going to do this. Yeah. He's going to make Eddie Kingston quit. I think the ending to this match is going to be interesting to see how they get to that point where Eddie's going to give up, because it's going to take a lot. It's going to be brutal to get Eddie Kingston to say that he quits.
Yeah.
He's such a strong personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Moxley's going to win that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I agree.
FTR and Bucks, it really comes down to that.
It's really weird because this entire match card is so, not the entirety of it, but quite a lot of it is very unpredictable. The tag team match, the Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin is a bit, I'm not really sure. It's just my heart tells me one thing and then my head tells me another one.
Yeah.
And same with Hangman and Kenny, even though we both know or think that Kenny's going to win.
We know what we think logically is the thing to happen.
But usually we get the thing of he's going to win for sure, no doubt. Yeah. Whilst with this match card, we both kind of I think this person's going to win, but I want this person to win, or the other way around.
And we said, we're also going to be having Cage and Starks getting involved somewhere. Like I said, I imagine Brody Lee's going to come back.
They did a good job at this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good card. I think it's going to be really fun. And hopefully nothing scary is going to happen.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. I trust Moxley and Eddie Kingston to not do anything. They'll do stupid things. I wouldn't be
surprised if they
but I trust them.
Something.
Well, of course they will.
Of course
they will. But I trust them to not... They know each other well enough that they're not going to...
kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah,
it's good. It's exciting.
So it's all coming down to FTR and Young Bucks. Then that's going to be the decider. Who won last time? Was it me or you? I think I won with Elias.
You won because I said Jeff.
Yes, and then Elias won by DQ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But on the podcast, I did agree with you.
Yes.
So, like, I did lock on Jeff too early until I heard your opinion.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. At the moment being, I am 1-0 up in predictions. We'll have to see where we will be after Full Gear.
Yeah.
But that is all for today's episode of AEW Dynamite review. Mainly predictions. AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite review and predictions. More predictions than review today. Not really an exciting show. But yeah, we will be here on Saturday, of course. Saturday night, Sunday morning for the Full Gear review. And of course, we have a SmackDown and NXT later today. So thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.